you doing tonight? Good. Now it's been a long night. I'm the last one, promise. I am Isabella King, if you don't already know. I have lived on Brigham Island pretty much my entire life. I am a BHS senior this year, and I'm going to give you a little bit of background about my life so far. I mean, I'm only 17, so I have many years ahead of me, but I went to a private school, Madrona, which is on the island. It's a Waldorf school, and I went there through preschool all the way through 8th grade, all those years. And I knew every single kid in my class every single year, same kids. I graduated with a class of 10. I knew every kid, what they liked, what they didn't like, how to be nice to them when they were upset, how to help them, and especially how to annoy them when I was mad at them. That came useful. And I'm talking about when I graduated from 8th grade, I went from this small community. I didn't really know many people. I wasn't a very outgoing person. I knew the kids in my class, I knew the teachers, and the families that were associated around Madrona. That was my life. I rode horses, and that was kind of my sport, but I didn't know many people from them. You know, it's a small community. I got to 8th grade, went through the whole graduation process, and I was like, I'm going to BHS. I'm going from a class size of 10 to a class size of 300. What am I going to do? This is a public school. There's tests. There's papers I have to write. I have to type. I can't handwrite everything. I can handwrite just fine. But now I actually have to type. Don't know how to do that, but I'll figure it out. And I walked through those doors the first day, absolutely terrified. Didn't really know anybody, knew a couple people, and those were the couple of people that were in my class. I was hopeful that I would have at least one class with them, so I would know who to go to. And over the summer, my parents made me do summer crew because they're like, you have to do a team sport. You get no choice. You have to do a sport. I was like, okay, but I love horseback riding. That's what I want to do. They're like, no, you get a team sport. I hated it all summer through. It was so much work. I had to get up early in the morning. It started at 7 a.m. in the morning, all through summer. This is my summer. I don't want to get up. Why do I have to go and work out 5 times a week for 4 months? Not something I wanted to do, but I did it. And I didn't really make any friendships. I knew people like well enough where I could go in the hallway and be like, hi, and just keep walking. Not really make any interactions. And so when I walked into high school that first day, I just didn't know what to do. And I walked through those doors and sat in my first class and looked around, didn't know anybody. I was like, this is not who I want to be. I don't want to be this small kid who nobody really knows, hasn't really made any good friendships outside of her small community. I want to be someone different. So I decided I'm going to change. I'm going to change my personality, not changing who I am as a human being, but I'm just going to change how I interact, how I perceive myself to other people. So I decided to do that. I continued with crew. I'm still doing crew now. I'm going to be doing it in college. I've made friendships that I will have for my entire life. They have been with me for years, and I still have those friendships from preschool. You know, some of my best friends are there, and I hang out with them all the time. But I have other friends, not just that small community. And I decided I'm going to be someone else. And nobody can tell me that I'm wrong, that that's not who I am, because this is my true self, and I can change whenever I want to. I wanted to make sure that I wouldn't look back in my life and be like, I wish I was that person that was social, outgoing, and made those friendships, but I never was. I didn't want to be that person to look back in my life and be like, why wasn't I adventurous? Why didn't I change? I wasn't happy, so why didn't I change? Why didn't I make that decision to change? And so I decided to make that change. And I saw other people around me who I knew in high school were not going to change. They were just going to follow the pattern, act how other people saw them. You know, they have the rhythm, get up, go to school, play a sport or not, go home, eat dinner, and do homework, and that was what they were going to do every single day. You know, if they played a sport and they were so good at it, but they didn't like it, but they were too scared to drop it, because they knew other people would be like, that's not you. That sport is you. That's what you're like. And that's where you have to be because you're good at that. I didn't want to be that person. I didn't want to follow a rhythm and be that person that everybody else saw me. Everybody saw me as this quiet kid nobody really knew. Small little school. She came from a small little hippie school. Nobody really knew about it. And who knows? I didn't want to be that person. So I decided, why not? And I ask other people, I'm like, you can be whoever you want, no matter what someone says. There's no time limit. There's no timeline. I changed when I was 15 years old. You can change when you're 80. It doesn't matter. You can change when you settle down with a family or when you get out of college. If you aren't happy with who you are or how you interact in the world, then you should change. And you can change even if you're in a community that knows you well, has known you since you were a tiny little baby. I did that. When I was a freshman, I would not say yes to stand up here and talk to you guys. That's just not something I would do. I would be terrified. I did plays, but not something like this. But now I'm up here. I'm loud, I'm outgoing, and I'm adventurous. And that's something that I wanted to do. And I see these people who wish that, I want to be that person who traveled when I was younger, who went and saved money and traveled with friends or family or just by themselves and made new relationships. I want to be that person who travels. Or I want to be that person who has barbecues and parties in their backyard for the neighborhood every weekend. I want to be that person. I want to be that fun mom or dad or family that has those barbecues and parties in their backyard. But those people don't change. They say, it's too hard, people won't like it. I don't care what other people say. It doesn't matter, it's your own life. They say, oh, that's not your true self. You really aren't like that. I've known you for years. You're that quiet person where you're too loud to do that. I don't care, you can change. I can tell you so many times you can change, and most people won't do it. They're too scared. And if you want to be one kind of person, and you're like, I see that person, I can be that person, and you change to be that person, you're like, wait a second, no, that's not what I want to be. It doesn't matter. You can try something different. It's kind of trial and error, but it doesn't matter because it's your life. You get to decide what you want to do, and nobody can change that, and nobody can tell you what you want to be. If you want to try something different, just go try something different. Don't be miserable in what you do or who you are. You're not being a fake person being someone else. You're being your true self. You're being happy. You're not meant to be miserable in your life. That's not what we're here to do, We're supposed to be go to work, come home, eat dinner, and go to bed every morning. That's not what you're meant to do. We're supposed to be here to live our lives, to be happy with what we do. And I changed when I was 15. When I walked in that door at the high school, I changed who I was. And I'm happy who I am now. I love being outgoing. I'm a loud person in class, and I know that, I'm the go-to person who people want to talk to. When I'm in a group of strangers, I make friendships right away. I don't care who the person is. I want to make them friendships with them. I want to know who they are. And I'm a senior this year. I'm going to college next year. I'm going to row. I want to be a nurse. I cannot wait for that. But once I get to college, I might decide, I don't want to be so loud and outgoing. I might actually want to, study and not be so social and really work on rowing and being a nurse. And I might decide that. I might decide, no, I like who I am. I want to stay outgoing. Or I might be like, I want to go on more hikes. That's always something I want to do. Last summer I spent a month backpacking in Idaho. And I love that. And maybe that's something when I get to college, I'll be like, I want to be more that person. But it doesn't matter. I can change whenever. It's not just because I'm going to a new community. I might be going to school on the East Coast. That's where I want to go. And nobody will know me there. But it doesn't mean that that's the time to change. You can change if you're in a community that knows you well. You can change anywhere, anytime, and be who you want to be and experience what you want. Do not get stuck being someone you don't want to be, because you will be miserable your entire life. And you just don't want to be like, you're 90 years old and be like, oh my God, I wish I was someone different. I don't have that, you might live to 100 and something. But guess what? I ran out of time, or I never got to that. You can still change to 90. You can go on a trip, if you're able to. But if you're unhappy in your life and you don't like who you are and you're just miserable, then change. If you're in a family and my parents and my brother are sitting right in the front row, and if I get to college and I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like who I am. I want to be a different person. And I change and I come back and they're like, Isabella, what happened to you? Like, you are not this noisy person who's always singing in the car, in the shower, dancing around the house like you're a ballerina. What happened to you? You're not like that anymore. And I'm like, because I changed. And there's nothing you can do about that. I don't care how many times you tell me, that's not you. Come on, where are you? Why are you not singing in the car? Why are you not driving us crazy because you think you can be a ballerina? I'm not flexible, by the way, so I can't be a ballerina. But I want to be happy my entire life, and that's what everybody should take away. You should be happy. If you find something that's you're so passionate about that you just cannot live without, but there's something holding you back from it, I don't just move that aside and go to something that you love, whether it's hiking, sailing, or anything like that. No matter what it is, I think you should be happy, and if you're not, then change right away. So that's what I have for you guys. Thank you.